Hi, Melissa. It's nice to have you in our community.
Oh, thanks, Ed. It's lovely to be in your community.
So, Melissa, I know you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're a publisher, but please let us know what is your story.
Yeah, sure. My story is really deep. I quit my full-time career as a banker with institutions and to jump out, write a book, start writing full-time, teaching how to write, and moving into the next phase of entrepreneurship. So that's how I started about a year ago. Um, but I have been spending much of my life learning, reading, and executing on information that I've read in so many self-help books that I thought it's finally time to teach that to others. And this year, I've been focusing more on being a coach and doing a bit of edutainment, as I call it, because you cannot teach anything, I think, without being a little bit entertaining these days on, on social media. So I've gone into that space in an attempt to teach everything that I've learned over the years, everything that I've learned by writing the book, and everything that I've learned by speaking. So that's basically my niche. I want to teach people how to speak, how to write, and how to become the best versions of themselves by upping their confidence just that little bit.
Okay, but I would like to know a little bit more about, you said you start your own business last year.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit more what actually happened? How did you decide? And how was that transformation in your case?
Yeah, sure. So how did I decide? So for many years, I was doing a lot of side hustles, working full time, but doing something for a hobby on the side, writing blog posts and the whole lot. And I think a lot of us find ourselves in that place where we're not doing anything completely. We're doing half and half. And last year, the pandemic hit, and I came to a realization that I need to let go of everything that I'm holding on to because I know what I have to do, but I just don't do it. And a lot of us are stuck in that place. So I decided, okay, I really need to write this book. How am I going to start? I started writing the book by first learning how to write. And then I got into other parts of what I wanted to do through the year. I wanted to speak, I wanted to write, I wanted to teach. And I made that a mission of my life to do that and amplify that in every moment of time. Instead of doing it, people take say for example 2 years to learn something. You can accelerate that performance in a month, and I'll tell you how. So if you work for 1 hour a week, right, for 52 weeks a year, you have 52 hours of experience. But you can cram 52 hours in 1 week, right? That's just numbers, right? I'm a numbers person as well. So what I decided is
Finance
I'm going to
background.
cram this experience, right? I'm going to cram this experience into my life because that's what I really want to do. I don't want to go forward and have regrets.
Melissa, I also want to ask you, you said you had a financial background. You used to work for the bank, and then
Yeah.
you become creator, publisher,
Yes.
author, speaker.
Yes.
But in terms of the
Yes.
money, I think that's also a big transformation. In terms of you work with money, now you're working with something which is untouchable. So how was that transformation for you?
That's a very, very interesting question. Because at the end of the day, if you see money for what it truly is, it is a value exchange. Money in itself has no value except the value that we put to it to exchange goods and services. And it's the same thing with the transformational piece. The value you put in yourself and the time that you invest in yourself creates infinite returns if you compare that to money. So I feel like it's different, but it's the same, because it's all about the value you put in yourself and the value you put into things. And money, in terms of economics, actually is a representation of value in itself.
How is that transformation in terms of when you have a let's say established brand in some industry and you have kind of safe income, and then you're starting doing something by yourself and there is no safe income? And that's many people actually struggle to take that step. But how is that in your case, and what will be the motivation for other people who are listening to this video to to take that risk and step. You're a banker, so you can tell us from the risk perspective.
You're actually extremely intelligent, and I can see that by your questions. Okay, so with and I don't talk about finance a lot, which is interesting. That's why I left finance. But there's things. So with a risk, the more risk you take, the more reward you get, and you learn that as a basic principle in finance. But what you can do is minimize the risks. So you want to be in a place where you're taking a calculated risk. Taking a calculated risk means not jumping when you have $0 in the bank, just to make that a bit more specific, but jumping once you saved up a little bit, that it's safe for you to go out and do what you want to do and have a position to fall back in safely. Now, I am in that position, so it's fine, right? But there's another school of thought, because I like to look at both sides of the coin and not just look at one. Where I've found in many of my interactions with people who have left their full-time jobs, that didn't have an option, didn't have the plan B of going back to a full-time job, actually made it work. Now that's the kind of thing that I cannot put a logical explanation on, because sometimes you just figure out how to make it work, and how you do that is up to you. It's got nothing to do with risk whatsoever, but it's got everything to do with your mindset in that moment and what makes you take the leap and what makes you perform.
You mentioned also you have a book, and you're a publisher and author. So can you share a little bit more about your work?
Yeah, sure. So my book is called Go Find Yourself, and that's on purpose, because the find is kind of ripped out, because that's kind of what you need to do, right? You need to dig in deep to find out who you really are. And the way you do that, it's called writing therapy in a way. So a lot of us have really difficult life lessons. So lessons we really want to have, but unfortunately we've had to go through them. But what it gives you is actually strength of character. It gives you the capability to become so much more because of those experiences that you may consider as brutal. Right? Those experiences were bad, but actually you learned something. And that's what the book's all about. These experiences that people see as bad, but I choose not to latch on to a place of self-pity. And you can make that choice. You choose to latch on to a place of self-compassion. And that's when you accelerate your performance in entrepreneurship, in leadership, and any place you want to go. When you look at past experiences that other people may look as failure, like it is a failure, or you may feel like it was a failure, but it's actually not. It's a building block of success. And that's every single chapter talks about, starts with the story and ends with a lesson that I learned. And it's just suggestive, because I don't believe that other people should look at what I've done and do exactly the same thing. But I believe that they should look at it themselves and see what their life stories are. It's like a reflection moment almost of your life in my book. That's what my intent is. So that you write your own story, you have a transformational experience. And that's what I teach people as well, by the way. I coach people to write their own stories. So you can bring out the truth for yourself and you can become a top performer at the same time. Yeah.
Melissa, can you share how you are serving your clients, people who you want to make impact on their lives? Is that online, offline, in groups, one-on-one? Share a little bit more about that as well.
So I teach how to write and speak, right? And that's what I admire about you the most as well, that you do what you say. I'm a big doer of what I say. So what I've been doing is, because I'm teaching people how to write and speak, I am speaking publicly on camera in one take every single day for the month of Feb 2021. And what's happening with that is that video is going out. People are resonating with the stories, with the messages, and people have been contacting me. So I always had, like, you might know, because you're big on branding. It's always about, for me, having people connect to me based on our value system and based on what resonates with them. So I have just been creating videos. To be honest, I've just been creating videos, and I had, I don't know, 1,020 friend requests in a day, and I was overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? And all I did in that message that I sent out by video was I shared my story. I shared some facts, some serious research that I did, and I shared my true understanding of what others are going through. And I've learned that through coaching and through my own transformational experience in the last few months. And that's what's made me a better speaker and a better writer. And people have started connecting with me. So that's how I've been connecting with people, by sharing content that's super valuable to people out there who resonate with it.
And in your case, who are the people who are resonate with your message? Are they entrepreneurs, business owners, mom, dads, family, children?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good question. So for me, mainly, I'm finding people who are super, super ambitious. They're entrepreneurs a lot of the time, or leaders, and they want to create impact through their writing, through their speaking. They want to become better influencers, and they want to persuade people, and they want to be a real role model. I think what's in their heart, based on my understanding, is that they want to be a role model, sometimes even to their children. They want to be a role model to do things that they thought were never possible. And they have a list somewhere in the back of their mind where they're ticking off things just silently to themselves and celebrating within themselves that, hey, I did that. They're top achievers. They're people that actually take action. I don't necessarily work with people who don't want to, because you can think all you want, you can read all you want, and unfortunately that doesn't get you anywhere. And if I can just help you by letting you fly, by pushing you a bit over the edge of the cliff so your wings can come out, like, I'll do that, right? So I'm getting into that space where people are almost at the edge. They're like, I can fly, but I just need that little nudge. I'll be happy to help you do that. So yes, if that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. And in your case, because I strongly believe you do some research and you know what you're doing, like what is the vision of your business in 2021?
In 2021, my vision is to meet as many people as possible. I've put a goal on there, which is a ridiculous goal. My aim is to speak one-on-one to at least 5,000 people this year via camera, right? 5,000. Speak and help them. So that is my vision, because I want to truly, like I said, this year, I want to understand people. I really want to understand what people want to do, but I want to understand the depth of it. I want to go so deep that I understand what's truly in your heart, because I know that's going to make me a better speaker, writer, and a better helper to get people to their goals faster. And I'll know them better than they know themselves. That's when I'll be happy. You love all the finance talk. Do you have a finance background or what?
No, I just have MBA and some investment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I'd like to diversify a little bit of what I'm doing, because I know that every goal can take me there, but I want to spread it out amongst different things.
Thank you, Melissa. This was an amazing interview. I really like your story and your transformation and everything you do. And I'm quite sure you're going to reach your goal for 2021. I wish you all the best. And thank you for being a member. Please share your talent, your storytelling skills with our members as well. And for all people who are watching this interview, if you're impressed, same as me, please be free to reach out to Melissa. We will also post social media links so you can find her and connect with her directly, or with some of her supporters from AI space, which I'm not sure who they are, but definitely they are there. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you so much.